Hello everyone and welcome to Fifth North. I often get asked why it is that I ride. I hear a lot of things like it's extremely dangerous, you might get hurt, you might die, what if you crash, you've got a wife and kids, all that kind of good stuff, right? Let me go ahead and answer that question today. So why is it that I ride? Well, let's start off with the whole dangerous bit. Let's get that out of the way. So I want to tell you guys a little story. And some of you guys might already know this story if you've been following my channel for a while, but I've lived my life in a really healthy manner, I think. I don't smoke, I don't drink, never done drugs, anything of that nature. For crying out loud, I don't even drink soda, right? I'm mostly a water kind of guy, and I've done a lot of things to stay healthy and to stay active and really just to live a good, healthy life, right? And then out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, one day I find out I have cancer. And, after about a year of what I cannot describe as anything other than absolute hell, I was able to beat that cancer and continue on with my life. So obviously happy that happened. But long story short, we're sitting here talking about you might crash, you might this, you might that. Well, or you might get cancer, or you might get hit by a car, or you might get struck by lightning, or some other, hey, what's up, dude? Or some other thing might happen, right? And so I think the biggest thing for me is when people say something might happen to you, I tell them, look, or something else might happen to you. So long story short, having survived cancer and having been through a lot of other things in my life, I sit here and I say, you know what? If I enjoy something, I'm going to do it. So right off the bat, I tell those people that tell me it's dangerous, I say, yeah, but so are many other aspects of life. You can't control what happens to you, and just out of that fear, you shouldn't not do something that you enjoy. So anyway, we can move on from that main part of the question. But before I do move on, I do want to say one thing. Some good news in that conversation. I did actually have my 6-month follow-up scans recently, and still cancer-free. Everything's all clear. Everything's all good. So some awesome news there. Again, big shout out to everybody who's followed my channel for the entire duration of its existence. A lot of you guys were there through my journey, so I definitely appreciate you. With that being said, though, let's talk about why it is that I ride. But before we do that, why are we going so slow? Seriously, the speed limit's like what, 45, 55? We're like barely doing 30. If you can't take a simple curve in your car, it's probably not safe that you're driving. I'm just saying. I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying. Alright, now that that's over with and we're finally back to actual riding, let's get back to the subject at hand. So, why do I enjoy riding? Why do I ride? Well, it's stuff like this. Check out these curves right here. As a person who, has spent many years racing cars, as a person who's had a racing license, I can tell you that I absolutely love turns and curves. And even in really great cars, we drive normally every day and we take curves and whatnot in our SUVs and our trucks and our family sedans, and we don't really experience them the way that they are experienced, say, on a racetrack. With me driving a race car, driving a small, simple car like a Miata, or even like a stock car or a fully gutted out, track car of some kind, you get to experience those turns even more and you get to enjoy them even more. But even in a fully prepped race car, you still don't quite get to enjoy a turn like you do on a motorcycle. Between the ability to go fast, you also have the ability to lean. You get a really nice lean angle in, and you really get to experience that turn. You get to experience the elevation change, the curve in the turn itself. Sometimes the turns will be off camber. They'll be changing in angle as you're turning. A lot of different things you can feel in a turn, and I feel like there's no other experience quite like it as there is leaning on a motorcycle. So I definitely really love that feeling, and that's one of the reasons why I ride, is because there's nothing else that gives me that feeling. Now, speaking of feelings, there's no feeling like the feeling you get from that freedom of riding a motorcycle. Now you might ask me, what does freedom mean, right? There's something about riding a motorcycle that changes everything. Let me explain that a little bit. So my entire life I've been kind of raised to be super hardworking, a bit of an overachiever. Always put your head down, grind, and work hard. And because of that, I've been very successful in my life, and I'm thankful for that. But I've also always been very very focused, very hardworking, constantly busy, constantly thinking about something, constantly solving something. Everything's on a schedule, everything's on a time crunch, everything's just kind of go, go, go. And when I get on a motorcycle, nothing exists. Ooh, I think I just saw some fellow riders. Let me see if I can catch up to them. But like I was saying, right, when I get on a motorcycle, nothing else exists. It's just me, my bike, and the road, right? You feel the wind, You hear the engine, you feel the bike vibrate, you feel the, the exhaust note, you hear the exhaust note going off, and you feel it sometimes too. And it just kind of, that sound and that feeling and that experience, it just kind of takes away everything else, right? Nothing else matters, nothing else is important. You can't really multitask when you're riding. It's just the focus of riding. Even when you're driving a car, you're not supposed to, but you can text to drive, you can talk on the phone, you can do all these different things. And I feel like with riding, it's just that. It's so pure, it's so focused, it's so singular. And so for me, it's just a really nice freedom piece where everything else just kind of melts away, and it's just that ride. So that's a big part of it for me, right? It's a stress reliever, it's a way to enjoy myself, it's a way to just kind of blank out everything else, get away from everything else, and just enjoy the ride. Okay, this is really annoying. I'm trying to catch up to these bikes because I saw two dudes on sport bikes a second ago, and I've literally hit every single red light. Oh, there they are. Cool. All right, finally caught up to them. Some nice bikes right there. Looks like Yamahas, if I'm not mistaken. I'll give a little rev, say hello. What up, fellas? Or I assume fellas. I don't want to assume, but anyway, maybe we can have some fun. Let's see where they're headed off to. Yeah, this got some nice sounding bikes too. Let me don't put it in neutral. Let's get going. What am I doing right now? All right, let me get back on track here, catch up these guys one more time. Yeah, they're going nope, he's saying cops. All right, let's slow it down. For those of you who don't know, when somebody's tapping the top of their helmet like that, that usually means cops, so take a chill pill and don't go crazy. Anyway, but back to the focus on why I ride. I mean, that's another reason right there, right? Is you can literally ride solo and have that freedom and that peace and that quiet of riding solo. You can ride with friends, or you can even ride with complete strangers. Like, these two people in front of me said hello, didn't, look at me funny for saying hi. They wanted to ride. I'm riding. Everybody's just kind of cool with each other. We're just doing our thing. Let's see if I can catch up. Oh, shout out to this moving truck. Thanks for letting me over, dude. Appreciate that. I love when drivers are cool. Just makes life better overall. Anyway, so yeah, catching up to these guys. That's kind of the cool thing about riding, right? Is you can literally just run into people who are also on a bike. You're like-minded, at least from the motorcycle perspective, and automatically you've got that common ground, and automatically you're just kind of cool. And I think that's a really cool thing about bikes, right? Is I feel like it's a lot more inclusive than a lot of other things that I've done in my life. So I really appreciate that part. What up, yo? Oh, I love that bike. That bike looks good. That's a nice Yamaha blue right there. Oh, it looks like they're turning off. Anyway, they got to go their own way. But back to my point. The point is, right, is you can kind of meet people, not even really meet them, and still have a cool moment, still say hello, still... what was I getting at? I got a little sidetracked there. I had to turn around. I got lost. The GPS in my ear was not being accurate. Anyway, what I was talking about was you don't really actually have to meet people. You can still have a good time and kind of enjoy a short ride together simply because you're both on bikes, right? So that's one of the reasons that I ride, right? There's a really cool community around motorcycles. And what I've noticed too is like any other thing that you do, there's different groups, if you will. There's the Harley riders, there's the sport bike riders, the naked riders, people who are all about stunting, people who are all about going fast, the track day guys, like all these different groups of riders. But at the end of the day, I feel like everybody's still kind of cool with each other, right? You can still appreciate that part that, hey, we both chose to ride, right? So anyway, that's another big reason why I ride, is there's just that community aspect, and I feel like everybody's kind of connected on that same wavelength of, hey, I enjoy this, so do you. All right, cool. All right, and so another reason why I ride, and it's a really simple one, is you get one go around in life. Like, think about that for a second, right? Life is simple. I know we like to make it complicated, but life is simple. You get one go around, enjoy it, right? We often overcomplicate things. We think about all these different things that we have to do, but at the end of the day, like, if something makes you happy, then do that. And riding, I don't know why this person shot out like that. That's just dangerous. Anyway, riding for me, it's exactly that, right? Riding reminds me to just stop, forget about the complexities, and just enjoy life. And so again, if I get that one go around, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to ride. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And the thing about riding too is not only does it make me happy, but I feel like it's something that's a part of me, right? I feel like it's kind of who I am. And not from the perspective of like, oh, I'm cool because I ride a motorcycle and that's my persona, but I mean like it's a part of who I am because I enjoy the feeling, I enjoy the emotion behind it and what it does for me as I'm doing it. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's my roundabout, rambling on kind of way of answering the question of why do I ride. Like I said, it just kind of centers me, makes me feel at peace, and really helps me slow down the world, ironically enough, while I'm going fast. But if you had that question, hopefully it answers it for you. And if you like this video, hit the like button for me, and if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well, as it does help me out quite a bit. But that's it for this video. I hope you have a great night, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.